grilled shrimp. Grilled shrimp. Man, this is one of those recipes that is extremely easy to make. If you got a grill, you can do it in the oven too if you want. I like the way the grill tastes with the charcoal. Tastes real good. And to start off with this recipe, this is kind of like my own recipe a little bit. You can find different ones online. Largely, they're pretty much the same, but this is the one that I think is the best. And to start off, you need yourself some deveined shrimp. I like to get the shrimp with the vein removed beforehand. You can do it yourself if you would prefer. Personally, I just want to make the process a little bit more streamlined. These are jumbo shrimp with a shell on. They were frozen, so I defrosted them in the fridge overnight. And I removed the shell on them. If you've never removed the shell on a shrimp before, very easy. First things first, always make sure it's defrosted. And then what you want to do is you want to peel back the kind of top portion of it and rip that part off with the little feet too. It kind of comes off in one section. And then for the tail, as you can see, you just pinch the end and pull it straight off. Real simple. I would say you could use about a pound, maybe a little bit more of shrimp if you would like. For this recipe, there isn't a specific weight limit. It kind of is more of how many you want to cook and how many fit on the skewers and inside the grill. As a reminder, for the skewers, you got to make sure those things are pre-soaked before you start cooking with them. If you don't, there's going to be some issues with it. You could season the skewers if you want to. I'm not going to do that, but soak them in a large bowl, a little bit of water, from 10 to 20 minutes beforehand. This is one thing you can do, kind of expedite this whole process, is get the grill heated up, ready to go. Soak the skewers and start prepping the shrimp. By that time that's done, just throw it into the grill. Next up is the seasoning for this one. It's really only 4 things: 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of honey, salt and pepper. The honey I'm using for this one is a local honey. I strongly advise against buying the fake honey in the stores. Don't buy fake honey. Buy it local from like the co-op. Get it as fresh as you can. The local honey, it is incredible how that tastes. Really just, once you get it, it's one of those things where you're like, oh, I want to do this more often. The fake honey, it's fake. It's not real. Not to mention, with real honey, you get some added benefits of being more likely to be immune to or resistant to allergens in your own area that you're living in. That's just a natural thing that happens with honey. Not to mention, it tastes significantly better. Oh my gosh, does it taste better. But this one's real simple. 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the bowl with the shrimp. Throw in that tablespoon of honey, and then salt and pepper. Alternatively, you can salt and pepper after the fact. You can mix everything up and then salt and pepper it after you put it on the skewers. You can do that if you would like. Just don't forget to salt and pepper it. Now, when you are mixing it up, you may see some more of like the liquid from the shrimp, from the fact that it's defrosted in there. That's not really a problem. Just make sure it's whipped up. Oh, look at that. HBO Max is raising their prices. Wonderful. Love that. Absolutely. Whatever. That's just a side tangent. Just make sure it's mixed up really well. And then from there, you want to put it on the skewers. Like I said before, make sure they're pre-soaked skewers. The recipe originally that I was using did call for paprika. That was about a teaspoon of paprika. I am not using that in this recipe. I don't really think it needs it. You can add that if you like to. You can add a teaspoon of paprika. If you want a little bit more spice to it, you could add, a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper to this. You do with all the recipes I make, I like to kind of involve similar ingredients because you can scale up and down and change them at will for your own taste palette if you wanted something a little bit different. For instance, as always, a low sodium version of this, just don't add salt. It tastes fine just without the salt. I just add the salt. I like that, the flavor and taste of it. But I mean, you can, if you want a low sodium version, just don't add salt to this one. You want a little bit more flavor, you could add that, you know, half a teaspoon of paprika. You want a little bit more of like a spice to it, a little bit more of a kick to it. Go ahead and throw in some cayenne pepper. I love cayenne pepper. I love cooking with that. Now with the skewers, remember you gotta, on both sides, make sure it goes through like the bottom half and the top half of the shrimp when you're putting it on there, and try to center them in the middle, giving like an inch or two on the top and the bottom of the actual skewer, as you can see what I'm doing. Why? The main reason why is so that when you're eating it, it's a little bit easier to eat, to pull it off of it. If you slam them all on the skewer so that it's filled up all the way to the top, there is a small chance that when you pick it up, one could slide off, or the actual skewer could break. With cooking like heavier meats like beef and things like that, I did notice it was bending way more, and things were starting to slide off just because there's so much on there. So you want to make sure there's an inch or two on the top and the bottom parts of it, centered around the middle of it. And always make sure that you've measured the grill so when you put it on there, it actually fits on the grill. Now my grill is kind of like an egg-shaped grill, loaded with charcoal. There's no smoking elements to this one. What does that mean? I didn't put any apple wood, I didn't put any hardwood at the bottom of it. I just threw the charcoal in, got that heat shield on it, and I cooked it for about 5 minutes on each side, around 450 degrees. Anything above 400 degrees, you can just cook it for 5 minutes. The higher heat, of course, the faster it will cook and have more of a crunch to it. Now, this is a very important thing when cooking shrimp, whether it's in the skillet, whether it's in the oven, whether it's on a grill. Do not overcook the shrimp. It's going to get all rubbery. It's going to get kind of hard. So you want to stick to making sure that it's, once it looks like as it does now, you get it off that grill. You want it to be fully cooked, yes, but you don't want it to, be too rubbery or hard. So once it starts to pink, you'll see it shrink in size. It's done. As you can see here, I'm taking it off the grill, and man, oh man, I'll tell you what, the flavor, the taste of it, delicious. Hope you guys try it out and enjoy.